I can't do it, so I'm not even going to try. I'm
Oh,
not even going to try.
That's a story for
I
another
did
spree,
this.
that is.
I did this intro perfectly, with no problems, no giggles, did it all, and then everyone just said, "But did you press record?" I was like,
I don't remember that happening.
"No, right." So, welcome to Bad Badgers, where nothing ever goes wrong. This is our Beadle and Grimm's playtest. So, some of this story, if you've been following along, this is episode 2. Some of this story may not be what you have in your book. Okay, so just bear that in mind. But we're doing all this for Beadle and Grimm. This is, of course, our Candela Obscura storyline. This is assignment 615. The Locked Library. Now, assignment 615 is definitely not part of Beadle and Grimm's. I've made that number up, sort of. So we're just going to go with the flow. So anyway, enough of me prattling on, because this is playtest material. We're going to use as much time as we can to get into this. But what does everybody remember so far from the first episode? So this is our bit of a murder mystery. Over to you guys. Go.
We
I
arrived.
Lieutenant Bastard.
Yeah, police officer bastard.
We found an electrical box, hidden room,
We did.
a murdered man. I believe we left off with some spirits we're seeing and stuff on the,
Yeah, I
the
put
other
on some
side.
glasses.
We found quite a few clues. We got books that were missing from the library. We've got a whole host of people that we haven't even looked at yet. We've got to speak to.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like 5 guests and 2 people that work at the
A
place.
big safe.
Got a big safe to play with.
Okay.
Well, we found a box. Found a box.
That was the electrical thing, or the
The electrical thing, yeah. That's it. Yeah, I wonder what you meant by electrical box now, but no, I get it. Now I get it.
I was the same. I was like, did he? Is it a box of fuses? I don't remember.
That's what I was. Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's what I.
Words escaped me. I'm very sorry.
It was a
But that was
treasure
that.
chest.
But that was bad, wasn't it? Because metaphysical Mog stuck something in there, possibly the key.
Yeah, put the key in
and
there.
electrocuted.
And
Yeah.
I had,
then-
to, I
and
had
then-
to rugby tackle the old woman off of it. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. And then also metaphysical Mog put the glasses on and saw something horrific.
Yeah, some sort of spirit being, right?
With
Quite
a
like if
melted
you had it in the
face.
description.
Did you
of
see the
that.
formed skull screaming at her? Is what I wrote down.
Yeah.
I just remember Dave describing the jaw being dislocated.
It's kind
that
of
was
it is a screaming rotten face in like a green ghost, and it has a dislocated jaw, and you can see its teeth, and it has glowing red eyes.
Yummy.
And so what happened was metaphysical Mog put the glasses on, and as soon as they did, they could see it. It was right in her face, screaming at her. So we'll pick up from where we left off. Metaphysical Mog. You blink, and that green ghostly visage disappears.
I'll quickly have a scan around the room to check that there's nothing else in the room that I can see with the glasses on. And then I will just take them off and sort of fold them up and put them in one of my many pockets. And just be like, well, that was an experience. I seem to see a large green skull with desiccated features, and it was all up in my grill.
It was all up in my grill, it was.
But it weren't the old man in. It weren't the Arbrostot.
I don't believe
Well, it's
so. I
ghost.
mean, the jaw of this thing was, well, it would be hard to tell. It was a skull, so I'm not really very good at reading. I didn't really have time to look at the shape of his skull.
It wasn't just a skull. There was a body there as well.
Okay.
I will explain it as this is like, I don't know if we described it back then, but this is like the librarian ghost from Ghostbusters.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say it was a librarian.
Yeah.
But you didn't see the nice librarian. You just went straight to a really rotten looking.
And I would assume that it wasn't him, right?
It was not a buff knot.
Cool. No, Josiah, I don't believe it was him whatsoever.
And these glasses were in his pocket, so he obviously knew how to use them.
Yeah, you'd assume so. You from the vision I had previously, he was reaching for them.
More importantly, what the piss does that all mean? We've got a ghost here. How much shit have we trodden in?
Well, seeing as we don't know much about his behaviour when he was alive, only his behaviour since he's been dead, should we talk to his servants?
We could have a couple of people speak to the servants, and maybe a couple of us speak to the guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
Split the party then.
Yeah. He doesn't like it when we split the party, Dave.
Dave.
Sounds good to me.
Let's all go off in separate directions.
We have
It's
5
good
separate
storytelling,
directions.
but yeah, let's try.
No,
Just before we do leave, the medical books that were on the desk, I never got a chance to look through them just to see if there's any patterns or anything unusual in those books. So I'm going to make a focus roll.
Or any like pages, like
Yeah, anything like dog-eared or regularly seem to have been used or highlighted.
So my notes say the books on the desk are on brain deterioration in the elderly.
Yeah, but we haven't looked through them, have we?
Okay.
Don't worry about it, Dave. I've got a failure.
Okay.
So stop reading. Maybe a bit of pain there.
What now?
But I did get a drive back because I used a gilded dice for that, so that's fine. That's mainly what it was for.
Everything has a use. Right, so what do you want to do? Head to the kitchen?
So
This is
who's
a bit
going
like
to speak to the servants and who's going to speak to the guests?
this is a bit like Resident Evil. There is a room that you can come back to because you haven't opened the safe.
Is there a typewriter in there?
yeah.
Bad for
Save
going
budget. Yeah.
Got to save it. You need the ink reel.
Need an ink ribbon, yeah.
I can go speak to the guests. Anyone else wants? If you want.
Well, since there's 5 guests, probably better to go three for the guests, 2 for the servants.
I've let about.
What I would
about the
say
talking,
is
though, that's a
because yes, so it's going to be if 2 of you go to the kitchen, then the other 3 have to sit there very silently for the next hour while we go through this.
So
And then the
your
second
suggestion
hour-
to us is we all go to the kitchen.
Yeah, I think you're going to hold hands and go to the kitchen together.
Only if we can skip.
Deal.
Yeah.
I'm skipping Mog.
I'll skip with Mog.
That's the only way I'm holding hands is that if there's skipping involved.
I thought you was talking about skipping the cutscene. That computer game too much.
Hey.
Hold down A, yeah.
All right, we'll skip to the kitchen.
To the kitchen.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, there's been a dead body, but there's the 5 of us just skipping through the hall.
I know, there might be 4 of you. There's not 5 of you just skipping. Billy is holding back as far as possible.
Come on, Billy. A rich aristocrat is dead. That's a occasion to skip.
He don't need them kidneys anymore, or that liver.
You both got me.
Cornea
I'll start skipping.
lined up.
Hey.
Someone rich is
It's a
dead
night
and there's
out.
organs
It's
in there.
fine.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, so you all you pass through the house, back down the stairs, into the servants' basement. So imagine this is more like Downton Abbey, the Downton Abbey kitchen, where they all kind of sit around their servants' table eating their food, and you see 2 members of staff. These are the only 2 full-time members of staff in the house itself. There is also Lieutenant Bazard is with you as well from the periphery. She escorts you down, and she introduces you to Rudolph, and he is a middle-aged butler, all in his finery, and he seems to be sitting there quite calmly perusing the daily paper. And she also introduces you to a young man named Vita. Vita is a footman, and he currently has a ton of energy inside him, and he is kind of pacing around the kitchen. What do you wish to do?
Does he look upset whilst he's pacing, or is he? You say he's animated, but
He kind of he pulls out when you walk in. He's like, he pulls out a chair. He sits down, stands up. It's like, what is it? What is it like? Do you want to? You need to talk to me first, or Rudolph? What do you need? Happy to help.
See, what we should have done beforehand is decided who was going to lead these interviews.
Now, what you do is you just confuse them, Duncan, and you come in with no fucking idea what you're doing, and then they don't know what they're doing. I've seen the old Bill do that several times. I think the quicker we do it's right.
You
They always
see
try on me.
Rudolph kind of leans back on his chair, starts folding the paper quite expertly, nicely, and just lays it on the side.
Oh, that's a very well starched paper, if I do say so.
Thank you. I iron them every morning for Mr. Arbuthnot.
Oh, you worked for him long?
Many years, yes.
And by many, we mean like since he was a wee lad, or like a bit bigger, or
Maybe 15, 20 years, I guess.
good employer or a bit shit?
Mr. Arbuthnot has been exemplary.
I would like to use a read on that to see if he's lying.
Okay.
I will give you a drive,
Thank
and
you.
what Billy does is he'll find a piece of food, and he's just trying to set them on edge a little bit, and he'll just pick up whatever food is lying around and just take a bite of it without asking to hopefully set them off a little bit.
That is a big old fail.
Cool. But you get a bit of drive back.
Woo!
We're in this together.
Can I, while they're talking to them, can I size them up? Because it was one of these guys that kicked the door in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So Rudolph is big. He is a big guy, big square shoulders. And Vita is young. He's young and skinny.
So, obviously, being a soldier, I can sort of surmise Rudolph was the hench fucker that kicked the door in.
Yep.
So how did you and Mr. Arbuthnot come into contact then? And how did you get acquainted? How did you get this job,
Which one are you talking to?
Rudolph?
Mr. Arbuthnot has many influences about town.
So we're led to believe, yeah. But how did he come across you?
Well, I come very well recommended.
Your previous employer as a butler? Because you strike me as a bit of a military man.
I was, but I am not anymore.
No. So did you retire out?
In a manner of speaking, yes. But I failed to see what my military background would have had.
Well, I'd just like to find out who we're talking to, you know. Who they really are deep down, whether they can be trusted. It's all about getting the understanding of the person.
Well, Mr. Arbuthnot can certainly trust in me.
And what about your opinions of some of his other acquaintances? Some of the guests that are here, for example. Would you say that he could trust them?
In a manner of speaking, Mr. Arbuthnot has chosen his board. He has handpicked them.
Yeah, here we are with Mr. Arbuthnot dead. And the suspects are all people who's either employed or he's, as you say, handpicked.
Mm-hmm.
So at least
You
someone's
saw
not
the body.
trustworthy. Yes.
Then I can't imagine that anyone would be able to do that. How would you? Kill someone and then turn their skin, their hair, their tongue, and even their clothes white.
There's many devices in this world. We've seen one of them. We lost someone to one of them. They're capable of doing things, but they are devices. And those devices are either wielded by people or other entities. There's normally always a third party involved. For example, in Mr. Arbuthnot's library, the room that only he has the key to, we found a box. It looked like a harmless chest, but when you put the key in it, it gave you an electric shock.
You mean the silver chest?
The silver chest, yes. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, the silver chest was delivered today.
So it was not Mr. Arbuthnot's property then?
It was a gift to him.
From who?
A gift to him from Jeremiah. Jeremiah is one of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, this device, our friend Mog here, put the key in the lock and they were electrocuted to the point where they could have died had not our friend here, Duncan, risked himself to save her.
I will definitely be having a word with Jeremiah later, put it that way.
Well, that certainly does seem strange.
Do you know what was in the box? Or is in the box?
No.
Well, once it stops its whirring and twitching, I think we best have another look at it to find out exactly what was in there, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, as somebody who's close to Mr. Arbuthnot, who else had access to the library? I understand he had the only key.
He had the only key, yes. But Vita would have gone up with him. Vita would have been the young gentleman here. And you see Vita just wide-eyed go... Right, he's just almost just been outed in front of him.
So you were allowed in the room?
Vita would have carried the chest for Mr. Arbuthnot.
So you had access to the room. You were able to go in and clean and tidy and do things. You were just not given free rein, as it were, to let yourselves in and out.
Exactly, yes.
What was Mr. Arbuthnot like in the last few days?
He has been diligently looking after the business. The dinner this evening was to appoint a successor. He was going to step down from the business.
Do you know who he's going to appoint?
Sadly, no. I do not.
I have two questions. Just quickly. Sorry, gents. Vita, if you carried the chest up, why did you not remain with your master or with your boss?
I do what Mr. Arbuthnot says. I go in, I put it there, and then I left because the guests were arriving. So, yes.
So what did you do straight after, as soon as you put it down?
I come back down to the kitchen to continue cooking.
And what were you cooking?
Dinner.
What was for dinner?
Well, it's foul, as always.
They're not
Well,
very good
It tastes
then.
quite-
I can understand it may not be very nice, but
You're all talking as one.
We're all trying to
He
get
stands up,
the
sits
same
down,
pun in.
sits down.
Ways to get a shit joke in it.
Yeah.
so that was the last time you saw him, and he was alive.
Yeah, yes. For me, yes.
And you didn't kill him, no?
No, not at all, not at all.
You're not telling lies.
No, I love Mr. Arbuthnot.
Lies burn in hell, you know that, don't you?
Well, yes, but I'm not lying. He was a good old man, and he treated me well.
And no one paid you to poison him.
No,
I would like to
Well,
read
you-
that,
so,
please.
you can read.
I'm going to spend a drive point as well. Mixed success, I got 5. Not on the Gilded.
Who's asking the question? So Duncan was asking the question, and Billy saw the hesitancy. So I would say Vita kind of leans into Duncan. I didn't get paid to poison him, but I do get paid for sharing secrets, but I can't say anything here.
Why not?
He just slowly turns around and looks at
The massive
Rudolph.
fucking rhino in the corner.
Rudolph.
Yeah.
my boss.
Okay. We'll continue this in a little while then.
I have another question about something that was on Mr. Arbuthnot's body. And I'll walk over to Morgan. Can I have the glasses?
Certainly. And I'll take him out and pass him over to side.
These lenses, and they're red, aren't they? If I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a
Yep.
pink or red, I think, yeah.
These lenses, according to a book that was in the library, are spirit lenses, and they allow somebody to see ghosts. Now, they was in Mr. Arbuthnot's pocket, his jacket pocket, and his library contained the details of the item and instructions on how to use them. Our friend Mog used these glasses, and there is a ghost in the library. What do you know of that?
Yeah, who are you asking? Rudolph? or
Rudolph,
Vita?
and I'll ask Rudolph. I think I get more out of Rudolph than Vita.
No, I don't know anything of that. Surely those spectacles, if I remember correctly, were a gift from one of the other board members, Lucretia. She's a bit of an experienced occultist. They were a gift. Recently, in the past few months, maybe a year or so, Mr. Arbuthnot got into more interested in the occult.
Do you know why that was?
Not at all.
Do you know why he was stepping down?
If I tell you, it cannot leave this room.
Scouts on them, mate.
Oh, definitely. I would never tell a secret to no one.
Duncan,
Mr.
why don't you
Arbuthnot.
take Vita outside?
I sort of nod at Josiah. Come on, Peter. Let's go for a little walk,
company.
me and you.
I was going to say, yeah, maybe Billy, you should go with them. Avoid any more double negatives.
I don't know what you're talking about, Polly. I would not
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I try not to be too negative, Polly, but you know, sometimes it does get to me.
All right, you two, scram.
I sort of get Vita by the not the collar, but pick him up, and we walk out.
Okay. Thank you for allowing us to have the privacy. The Mr. Arbuthnot had signs of dementia, and that's why he was giving up his position. He would never harm the organization, but at the same time, he knew he wasn't up to the task anymore. It was simply time for him to move on.
I'll do a read and see if I can tell if he's telling the truth.
I'll give you a drive.
I've got a 5, which is a mixed success, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I will say that most of it is true, but he is also not telling you everything.
How advanced was the dementia? Was it early stages, or was there a start of some more significant?
He was aware, his doctor was aware, and he wanted to make provisions for the business.
Must have been tough for you as a loyal staff member to watch that, and in a position of care. It's a tough thing to deal with.
I helped him as best I could, yes.
Been any more gifts from board members lately, other than the 2 you've mentioned?
Not that I can think of, no, unless they were a private gift. That does happen from time to time. Not everything comes via courier.
What's your read on the other board members? Was there one particularly that the old sir favoured or seemed to get on best with?
I don't think there's anyone that he may have favoured, but I would say, in my personal opinion, I would say that Bryn, she's the only one I know for sure has killed people before. And she's an expert at it, from what I hear anyway. And however this has happened, it certainly doesn't seem like the work of an amateur. Not like that chest.
As far as you know, was anyone on the board aware of his ailment?
No.
I
Did
would
you kill
like.
him?
Of course not.
Go for the Jake Peralta approach.
I was just about to say it. All I was thinking was
Did you kill him?
Did you kill him?
Yeah.
All it's going to be is, did you kill him? Roll a 6, game over. Just going to do that on every person to roll a 6. we did that. We did that.
Failed to roll a 6. Are you sure? You didn't?
Ian did that at BadgerCon in the very first game with Alan was DMing, and Ian just went into one and went, "Is it you? Is it you? I know it's you. It's you." And it was. Like, wow, we solved this crime really quick. We had like another 40 minutes to go.
What you say that she's an assassin as such, or a hired killer? What is that? Is that what you're alluding to, or what's the?
Yes, she. Let's say in another life, she was an assassin. A highly rated one, I believe.
Well, who would you say that Mr. Arbuthnot trusted more? Who, in your opinion, would he choose to be his successor? Let me put the question a different way. You've said several times that Mr. Arbuthnot's only concern was the company and the continuance of it being run, probably in the same way that he ran it, which we understand from Lieutenant Bazard was in a particular way, where there was no trouble and no violence. nothing to cause a stir. Who out of the 5 guests had a similar sort of temperament to Mr. Arbuthnot and would continue to run the company in the same way?
And then I will confide in you again. It is I who has been running the Scarlet Trust for the past 6 to 8 months.
Oh, definitely going to do a read on that.
You drive.
Thank you. I will also use one of my drives, and because I have made small talk with him, I can also add another D to that because of my sweet talk feature.
Well done.
Nice.
Success on the gilded. Woo!
Well done. So Rudolph is telling the truth, and he goes on to explain, I believe the papers announcing the succession of myself should still be in the safe, unless, of course, they have been stolen from the library.
You aware of how to get into the safe?
No, I am not.
You think as you was taking over that it would be something they would mention?
So
I don't think he was expecting to die.
Fair play.
who else knew of this? Who else knew that you were helping Mr. Arbuthnot run things?
No one. Just Mr. Arbuthnot and myself.
You're certain of that, are you?
As certain as I can be.
Okay, thank you, Rudolph.
Very good, sir.
I'm going to step outside. I don't want to talk in front of him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One last question, Rudolph. Did you get him?
No.
Let's try, Mog.
Never rolled a 6.
As Billy and I are walking off with Vita, I'm gonna walk as far away as we can and get to a point, put my arm around him. Right, now Vita.
Just quickly, Duncan, can I just cut in just for a second? I just want to tell Vita a story and give him some medical knowledge before you ask him questions, just in case it persuades him not to lie again.
Am I gonna need the hanky this time?
Maybe, we'll see how it goes. But Vita, are you aware that if you supply someone with enough painkillers, you can keep them awake and so they can feel pain but they can't move? And when you do that, you can basically cut off the top of their head, take their skull cap off, and you can like take bits of their brain out. And they can feel it all, but they can't move. Apparently, it's very horrific. So you lied to my friend here once already, and I'm a particular type of doctor. So if you lie again...
And I'll be like, hold on. And I'll put a bit of paper out with a bit of chewing gum. I'll be like, that's the last one we had.
You always keep a souvenir.
What was this one's name? I can't remember. I'll start prodding it.
I don't remember names.
Squealer. That's what we called him.
So go ahead, Duncan. I just wanted to impart a little bit of knowledge before we got underway.
So, Vita, right. First up, who are you selling information to? Now, I want all the names, not just one. Because if someone sells information once, they sell it a few more times. Now, no tripping over our tongue. Straight up honesty.
And straight away, he goes to do his kind of posh in-house voice. So, sir. And it just comes out as, all right, look, I just do what I'm told. I go backwards and forwards. I look after the old geezer. He's a lovely old gent. He really is. But look, I got the job from Mickle. Mickle got me into the house, and he said, I live here. I've got a roof over my head. I've got warm food. I cook the food. That's how I know it's warm. And I've got clean clothes every day. And I get paid. It's only a small amount of money, but I get paid. But it was Mickle. Mickle's one of the directors, one of the board.
Mickle or Nickel?
Mickle with an
Mickle.
M.
With a M.
But he pays me a little extra every now and then. That's all. It's going on for several months, but it's only when I ever get a bit of information about a buff knot. Every now and then, it might be a note or something like that. But it's mostly just keeping track of the old man. It's who he has lunch with, things I might overhear, and I can sell those back to Mickle. And Mickle, he's loaded. He's happy to give me a few coins for it, so I'll take it that way.
What and when was the last piece of info you sold him then?
Well, you see, I saw a legal document.
What kind of legal document? I sort of look at Billy a bit.
I take out my medical toolkit and just put it on like a nearby table and just open it out.
It was a succession document. This is a succession document. I saw it, all right? I saw it.
Okay. So you saw the names involved then?
Just one name.
I'll go for double glove, Billy. Double glove, mate.
Mr. Arbuthnot, he was going to hand over his directorship to Mickle.
To Mickle?
Mickle, yeah.
A legal success document.
Can I read that as I am putting my leather gloves on and just laying my tools out nicely? Tim is lying about Mickle.
Can I give you a drive for that?
Oh, you can if you want to. I have got a success though if you don't want to.
No, right, that's right. I haven't got any drive anyway for coming.
Cool. I got a 6, not on my gilded dice. So that's a success. About whether or not he's basically being honest about Mickle is the name of the
He is completely honest. He saw a legal document that handed the directorship over to Mickle.
What was the effective date on the document? And was it the only one?
Oh, it doesn't have it didn't have a date or anything like that. It's just, directorship. It was going to be for today, really. It wasn't future tense.
So what about tonight? Did you see anything odd?
No, I was with Mr. Arbuthnot. But the only thing that's, like you say, odd is that I don't know why he would give it to Mickle. Mickle, he's smart and he's helped me out, but he only cares about new ideas, new things. He's got no respect for history, and I know I've been here less than a year, but Mr. Arbuthnot, he's the exact opposite. History teaches us to look back before you go forwards, kind of thing. Look back at what you came from, and make the best of what you can going forward. I like Mickle, but
don't cut out the wrong bit of the brain or they go comatose, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Were there any other legal documents that you saw, Peter, other than that one?
No.
That sounded like a bit of hesitancy there. Did you hear that, Billy?
Yeah, I did. And he gets the syringe out. And he's got a little bottle of clear liquid.
I saw another one. Look.
Excellent.
I saw another document.
I don't mind, Victor. I enjoy it. I don't mind if you want to play the game. I'll play the game, mate. I don't mind.
We're all talking like this now. Anyway, I saw another.
Can't help it, As soon as you hear something, it's
I saw another letter, and I thought maybe I could make a few quid on this one too. But I saw
Come on, spit it
another.
out. What's the letter?
I'm trying to, but I saw another legal letter, and it was basically say that Mr. Arbuthnot would terminate Evika. Evika is another board member. So I thought, as I'm making a few bob for Mickle, maybe I could do the same thing for Evika. So I secretly contacted her and I offered the information for a fee. And she accepted. I didn't think anything else of it but until tonight. But
Now, when you say
What?
terminate, do you mean, or
No,
do you mean
I
fired?
think it means fired.
Sacked.
mate. No,
sack,
sack
yeah,
it.
fired. Yeah.
No, I mean it. All right, no worries, that's fine.
But that means that also, if I gave Evika the information and she's carried out the murder, then
When did you
because
give her
of my
when did you give her the info? And if so, yes, you murdered your boss.
well, no, yeah, but last week I did it, but
last week.
that also means that I can't. But then I'm a direct result of their actions, and that means that
Yeah, you're a murderer, mate. That's fine.
Well, he's more of a loose end, I would suggest. Duncan is what he is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
loose
think
ends.
loose
They
ends.
tend to get snipped or tied, don't they?
Often.
Often.
And then they
Some-
get hidden.
Oh, but
Or
some
cut
people just burn them right off. You know, never existed in the first place. Gone.
I find, Duncan, that if you separate them into like smaller pieces, they're much easier to like put in a barrel and hide at the bottom of a river.
Oh, it's quite true.
yeah, again you see his eyes. What? You can
Sometimes
see,
you
I'd
need
have
a
got-
barrel. You know, you get some good sacks around now.
you can see he is physically shaking in his boots.
Have we got any more questions, Duncan? And Vita, have you got anything else you want to tell us before I decide whether or not to get busy?
I think more importantly, before I think of my last question, Vita, anything you want to be forthcoming, as my friend Billy here says, will be quite vital and will certainly not be to the detriment of your health, shall we say.
I don't know what more I can tell you.
Okay.
No worries. And Billy squirts the syringe in his mouth because it's just water. Very refreshing.
Well, we've got lots to ponder on indeed, so I think you best stick around while we are here, Vita, because
If you want to know who I think could do this, because I saw Mr. Arbuthnot. I was the first one there. Me and Mr. Rudolph. We saw him.
was he still alive?
No, he was already gone. He was
What did you see?
white like snow. This isn't something that anyone could do, a normal person. But I think you should have a word with Lucretia. She's here for dinner too,
Why do you think that?
because she's deep into the occult. That one. They're not just the normal stuff. Like everyone's into a little
The
bit.
naughty
of occult.
stuff too.
No, the creepy stuff. Like proper
Like
seances.
creepy or creepy naughty?
No, not naughty.
Just creepy.
Yeah.
Fuck's sakes, I still want to find a naughty one.
It must have taken some strange power to pull this murder off.
Well, I'd certainly say so.
Just one last question from me as I engage my brain. You mentioned about history. How long has Arbuthnot been in this place? And has anyone died here before?
Oh,
Are there any
no,
bodies
there
buried
was-
here, Vita, basically?
There was a previous owner, Carolyn. I think they called her. that was before Mr. Buffnot took over residence. Way
And
before my time.
Carolyn.
So you
Yeah.
don't know if he took over in the way that his sort of people do, where it was an involuntary takeover, or if it was an above board purchase. I don't suppose you
Oh.
know, do you?
I think Mr. Buffnot does everything above board.
Most drug dealers do. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, most drug kingpins who run an empire absolutely do it all above board. Yeah.
But he didn't do it for that. He didn't do it.
He did it for the articles, yeah?
Yeah,
He did it for the love.
it's controlled. It's not allowed here. It's not sold on street corners, that kind of thing. It's controlled. It's allowed. It's regulated. Some people call them criminals, but he organised it. He kept it civilised. There's no gang fighting. There's no infighting.
Like organised crime, you might say.
Yeah,
Incredibly so.
Yeah.
very organised.
You know, I have got a vial, Duncan, of the painkiller.
So I guess let's back it up.
I think we're done here, Duncan.
Yeah, I think so, mate. Have you got rooms, Vita?
Mm-hmm.
Where are
Yeah,
they?
my room's just down the corridor from the kitchen.
Let's go and sit you in your room and we'll see you safe.
Okay.
Sort of take him back to his rooms. Leave him there. Unless Billy says otherwise, sort of, advise him to hold up here for now. And if he can lock his door, lock his door. Right, should we go and see what the others have found out?
Yeah, did we check for any escape routes in there, Duncan, before we left? Yeah, it's locked now, doesn't matter. does it?
That would have been a
Hit the
smart
window.
You are a smart person. That was a good idea.
Yeah,
I
well,
like
normally
the way you told him to lock his door when we're here investigating a murder of someone who is behind a locked door.
I'm normally smart after the fact, though, Duncan. That's the problem. I normally have to thought.
Sometimes
after
that's the
it's
best way
happened.
to be, mate.
I think you probably put
Mine's
the willies up him enough that he'll just sit in his room and do as he's told.
Hey, I've got a vial of painkiller. It's fine. Or paralysis drug.
All I've managed to find out so far is that we're 10 times worse than the person who did the perpetration in the first place.
I haven't hurt anyone.
Merely spouting facts,
Physically.
Alluded to.
I just educated someone on, some physiological stuff that you can do to someone if you're that way inclined.
It's doing the kind thing.
Yeah, I'm just warning you in case this happens to you. What a terrible thing it would be to happen to you.
God, awful, some might say.
Yeah, particularly someone like Billy doing it because he does not wash his utensils properly.
Oh.
What's that? That's a bit of claret.
Just wipe it on a sleeve.
All the guests are in the dining room, weren't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we head there.
Mm. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of information on each of them now.
Mm.
Yep, they've all been mentioned at least once.
When we meet back up with these other folks, if we're on our own for a second, I'll be like, you never guess what we found out.
So you can. So you travel towards the dining room, but then there's like a parlor area. Then there's a door to the dining room. There's a couple of other doors there, and you've got it's just you lot and Lieutenant Bazard.
Go on, Bazard.
I will wait in the kitchen.
I called you
I will
Bazard.
wait- I will
Would you
wait
be so kind as to
in
give us
the
a moment
dining
to
room.
discuss things that have happened per se with this investigation?
Duly noted. And then she walks into the dining room. Closes the door behind her. So
Well,
the
then
family
what did you
are
find out?
around.
Oh, 2 seconds, pal. Right, well, Billy's fucking terrifying, I'll tell you that for one.
True.
2, apparently this Vita kid was up to his knickers in backhand little supplements, shall we say? And he was selling off information to Mickle. And he claims, and Billy assures me he was telling the truth. He saw a legal document handing over successorship to Mickle, one of the board members. He did comment he doesn't know why he'd be giving it to Mickle, because Mickle is a forward thinker. And he also saw another legal document for Mavika's termination, of which he informed her last week. So, we've got a little bit of cause for, a killing there.
So we found out that.
Don't know what you guys found out.
Well, we found out that Rudolph was going to be announced as Arbuthnot's replacement.
Oh.
And he seems under the impression that his paperwork is in that they're safe, what we found.
Well, someone's going to be really pissed off when we open that safe.
Probably us, to be fair.
Yeah.
Most likely. I swear to God, if there's something dead in there, I'm not going to be impressed.
But Vita also mentioned that we should speak to Lucretia because apparently she's involved in some cult shit, Mog, like you are.
Well, we
Yeah,
need to ask her about
nothing
the
naughty,
lenses
though,
as well,
Mog.
don't we?
Just
We need to ask her about the lenses because she gave the lenses to Arbuthnot in the first place.
We've also
Yeah.
got Jeremiah, who gave the electric box.
Jeremiah that gave the old Sparky box.
Yeah. And then, Rudolph mentioned Bryn, ex-assassin, very skilled, apparently.
Might be worth seeing if that box has stopped twitching and maybe perhaps hand it back to Jeremiah to, return his goods.
I've got an alternative plan. If it has stopped switching, then we ask him to open it for us.
Exactly. See how much he squirms.
Well, no, to see if he knows what it is himself.
Oh, yeah, well, that
Good
could be
plan.
fun too.
Smart, just like smart.
That's what you were talking about, Billy, weren't it?
All about the brains. And there's something about a previous owner as well called Caroline or Carolyn.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know how Arbuthnot acquired the premises. The goats and shit.
Now,
So, for added impact when we talk to our guests, shall we interview them in the library?
Oh, I like that.
yeah, I think so.
Who do you want to start with then?
Jeremiah.
So, how many are there? There's
5.
5.
so we've
One
got
hand, Duncan.
one hand. Jeremiah, Mickle, Navika, Lucretia,
And Bryn.
and Bryn. I say we go with Jeremiah first.
Put
Right.
the box in that as well.
Get the little googly box and see if we can make him twitch.
I'll go back him Twitch.
Yeah.
A different way, all right.
You can see Mog is like nodding to you, Billy. Like,
God knows. God knows. It's been some of my victims. I mean, patients.
some of them
No,
are
you
still
said
with
it.
you.
You said it.
Damn it! Fucking caught me.
Some of them are still with you, Billy.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, we'll let Lieutenant Bazard know that we're going to go back to the library and ask to escort Jeremiah up for
Well,
the first.
Bazard went into the dining room, so you're gonna have to go in there.
I'll walk in.
Okay. So as you open it's a double doors to the dining room. This is a proper Downton Abbey dining room. Full service is out. It's like a 12 seating table. To one side you see Officer Riggins. He is a young man. As he sees you walk in, Bazard is off to your left. Officer Riggins looks at Bazard. She gives him a nod, and he walks over to you, Josiah. And he said, "Would you like me to tell you who's who?"
Yes, give us a rundown. We know their names, but obviously we don't know them by face.
Okay, so you can see at the head of the table, sitting together, we've got Jeremiah and Lucretia. They're sitting a bit close, but I haven't seen anything go between them. I haven't seen anything pass between them. They're not touching, but you can see them at the head of the table. Sitting this end of the table on his own, that's Mickle, and he's been playing cards the whole night. He's playing solitaire. Don't know why. Don't even know where he found those cards, but he's been very calm. Bryn's the one who's pacing up and down, pretty much make a hole in that rug over there. And Evika's the one over in the corner, very quiet. Can't tell if she's upset or just keeping to herself.
Have they spoken much between themselves?
No. As soon as we had the news, everyone just seemed to stop talking. The pleasantries stopped, if you like. I've taken to the toilet. We escort them. It's just the toilet out the door in the parlour where you came from. But other than that, they do it one at a time. They don't all go together.
Okay. Other than that, they're always supervised.
Always. They haven't left this room apart from toilet trips.
Okay, I'll thank Officer Riggins and I'll walk over to the table where Jeremiah and Lucretia are sat.
Okay, so he nods at you, sir, and he goes back to his position. It's kind of in the middle of the room against the wall, so you can see everyone. Basil is to your left, and you're going up to the head of the table,
Jeremiah, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Smike, my name's Josiah Crown. I'm part of the circle who's been sent here to investigate Mr. Arbuthnot's premature demise. If you'd like to accompany us, we'd like to ask you a few questions, sir.
Come with you where?
Somewhere a little bit more private where we can talk candidly. Don't worry, we'll be interviewing everyone. You're just first.
As you say that, he looks at Lucretia and pulls the chair out, stands up, straightens out his clothes, his jacket. Come on in, let's get this over with. I won't try and do a voice for everyone. I'm not doing 5 different voices. Hello there, lads, eh? Come on then.
Just always the Liverpudlian, just everyone.
Just Scouse that did it.
Outrageous.
All right, we'll lead Mr. Jeremiah Smike to the library.
You're going up to the library, yeah?
Yes, we are.
Okay. You're there.
We travelled very fast, didn't we?
Come in, Mr.
It's all
Smike.
that skin.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Come in, Mr. Smike. I would ask you to make yourself comfortable, but, well, there's the body of your dead employer on the floor, so not quite sure how comfortable you'll be.
As he steps in the room, he does take a breath. He's like, you haven't, at least give the man his dignity, cover him up.
One of the people in this house is a murderer.
Mm.
Seeing their reaction gives us valuable clues. So, you respected Mr. Arbuthnot, did you?
Certainly.
How did you meet?
I think we've known for many years. How we actually met, I don't know.
Then how did you come to work for the company? You don't look like the sort of person who would be involved in criminal ventures, if you don't mind me saying.
I am the CFO of the Scarlet Trust.
I'll
Money man, yes.
whisper to Billy. Billy, what does that mean?
Money. He deals with the money. I think.
I have a question for you, Jeremiah. This box that you see over here, we believe that you gave that to Mr. Arbuthnot as a gift. Is that correct?
That's right, yes.
Did you purchase this yourself? Do you know why, what it does?
Well, it's an old fair chest. It's a relic. You can put things in it. It's a box.
Okay.
You open it up for us.
Yeah, could you open it for me? The key's right there.
Why did you wish me to open it up?
Something to do with a cat or what happened to it.
Look, sir, you must forgive my companions. As you can see, Mog here, the arthritis is setting in. And would you believe it or not, the three lads are allergic to metal. And I'm going to like flash the ankle just a little bit. I just can't quite get it open myself. And I'm going to try and sway and convince him to open it.
Go for it.
With
I
ankles.
will give you a drive.
Thank you.
I love that everyone's just trying to execute someone now. We can investigate murder, but we're going to commit one while we're here.
He tried to kill me, pretty much, so...
I rolled 3 6s and a 4.
Wow.
Oh!
My God, what have you got on that ankle?
Little
So
tattoo in there as
pale.
well.
A tattoo of someone doing that.
He goes straight over to it. Very well. Picks up the key, puts it in the lock, turns it, it clicks. He grabs the sides, he opens it up. There you go. As he looks inside, he said, but what is this? Looks like a battery and some wires.
I would like to read that reaction, please, Dave.
Okay.
I will give you a drive for that.
You're very kind. Cool. Not my gilded dice, but a mixed success. I got 2 5s.
Yeah, he's kind of lying.
Kind of lying.
He's kind of lying.
Lying?
Kind
Never
of
mind.
lying.
Allow me to educate you a little bit about the human body.
Go again.
Did you know that you can open up someone's arm and pull the flesh apart and the muscles, and you can pull the little cartilage, and it makes the fingers wiggle?
He's been
Very,
watching
very
Dexter.
painful. So, I'm quite skilled at that. So if you could not lie to us, I would really appreciate it, because I don't mind getting a bit bloody. I think I've got my apron somewhere. It's a butcher's apron, but apron's an apron.
Let me get you a napkin, Billy. 2 6.
But I think, Joe, what Billy's trying to explain is that I tried to do what you just did, and that thing almost fucking killed me. So,
Well, maybe you opened it wrong.
I think it's time to cut the horse shit. You're the money man, so you're
Correct.
educated. You don't come from a background in crime.
It's my
I
life's
appreciate
work.
that. This attempt at murder, if you'll allow me to put it bluntly, was amateurish. Do you not think that had Mr. Arbuthnot opened this box and accidentally electrocuted himself, the fact that he'd be found dead whilst holding said box, and that said box was clearly delivered by you, as witnessed by many other members of this household, that would not have led directly back to you? I think you should count yourself lucky that Mr. Arbuthnot is already dead. Otherwise, you, my good friend, would most certainly be facing charges of murder, which would have been completely indefensible.
He starts to back up a bit, and you can see he's getting nervous as he feels like he's like he's being backed into a corner.
Can
Two
I
things.
can I sit on the table just slightly, and I'll put my hand in my pocket and just sort of push my sort of jacket I've got on enough, and there's a handle of a revolver.
As I said, money is my life's work. The company was nothing more than a low-rent mob when I took over. These fancy clothes, what the others are wearing now, the fancy carriages that everyone arrives in, that's all because of me. I've made this company grow. No one else, not Mr. Arbuthnot. May he rest in peace. Now I may have picked out this chest as a gift. It was Lucretia who handled it. She picked it out and she sent it to him via the courier. So if you want to pin anything on me, maybe you should talk to Lucretia first.
Did you put that battery inside it?
No. The chest is just a simple chest. You put things in it.
Were
Did
you
you-
aware? Sorry. Go on. Did you just say, did you kill him?
Yeah.
Right, roll a 6.
Have you heard? Did you hear anything beforehand about Mr. Arbuthnot stepping down?
There
Were
was
you
always
aware
like
why
my-
you were here for dinner tonight?
Yes. We knew that something was going to be announced today. And I'm sure it would have been me. I'm sure it's
Did you know that for certain?
me. No, but I worked very closely with Mr. Arbuthnot.
Would you describe yourselves of equitable nature? Do you seek the same goals? Want to run this company in the same way?
As I said, I am the one who has grown this company, not Mr. Arbuthnot. He may make the overall decision, but I'm the one who's doing the investments, running the business, making
Why
sure
would-
the money counts for something.
So why would Mavika be promoted above you then?
Ivika, why would Ivika be?
Well, she was going to be next in line. She was the one that was going to be given the head honko's chair, as it were.
Where have you seen this information?
Well, we've got the documents to prove it.
You've got the documents.
In a safe place.
You mean you believe the documents are in the safe?
There are documents in the safe. That would, I presume, be what people would have a safe for.
I don't believe that Mr. Arbuthnot would have made Ivika the successor. However,
Can you open that safe then?
no, I don't know the combination. But there's something just has come to mind. Before we sat down for dinner, I did see Ivika follow Arbuthnot into the hall. I thought they were going to have a quiet word, so I watched them for a little while. Ivika kissed his ring.
Is that
It's
something
all-
we're allowed to
it's
do?
some high society thing, right?
I bet they'll do it.
Kissed
Are we talking
Yes.
gold or brown?
kissed his ring on his finger. Are you not supposed to be professionals? You think I'm a criminal mastermind, but you lot.
No, we don't think you are a criminal mastermind.
Not
We
at
sent
all.
that fucking Chester killing that was absolutely linked back to you. We don't think you're a mastermind of anything.
But surely this must have been an elaborate display of fealty. But that seems a bit much, even for Mr. Arbuthnot.
So it's not something he's insisted upon before then.
Not that I've Not that I see on a regular basis. He certainly hasn't asked me to kiss his ring.
Give him a
Praise
once
him,
up
mate.
and down.
Praise him for that.
You mentioned something a few minutes ago when I asked about whether you'd run the company in the same way or not. You said you wanted to make the money count for something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that some of Mr. Arbuthnot's decision was affecting your profit margin?
Well, there were irregularities in his finances. Certain inconsistencies in Mr. Arbuthnot's financial records. He had been assigning large amounts to to actually something that was unnamed. He called it a charitable donation. Mr. Arbuthnot refused to tell me what he was up to. But I believe that possibly he'd been paying off a blackmailer. But for what, I don't know.
Do you know anyone other than Mr. Arbuthnot that does have access to his safe? Or knows the combination?
Nope. Possibly Mr. Rudolph. He is his manservant, after all.
I have one last question. When we spoke about the box, you said you chose the gift, you selected the gift, but you asked Lucretia to arrange it. Why would you do that? You're on equal standing as members of the board? Or are you closer? I noticed your familiarity with her downstairs. You seem to be the only two that were sat together. The other three were sat apart. Do you have some sort of personal relationship?
No.
Survey says that's a lie. I'll check. Can I
Can I do it? I got
Read.
a 5 for a read.
Oh, you got 5 already. Cool.
He goes on to explain it is not a romantic relationship. It is business.
I do. It looks like I'm doing mental math and trying to sort of figure out what word to use next. I know that it's business and certain things can be mixed. So she is a partner.
She is a partner of sorts.
Why would you need a close partner on the board? Do things get voted on?
Everything gets voted on.
So
And now, if you can't open that safe, if you believe the succession papers are in the safe, and if you can't open the safe, then the successor will go to a vote.
And who would likely get it then?
Hopefully myself.
So you control at least 2 of the votes.
Indeed. As I say, I'm good with numbers.
Got
You mentioned that.
Oh, go on. No, go on. Go on. No, go on.
You
Jeff.
mentioned
Oh, sorry.
you mentioned the safe. There has been several times over the years when that butler seemed to know a lot more about our business than he should. So I always figured he was up to something. So if you haven't spoke to him yet, maybe the butler did it.
It's very cliche.
Very cliche.
Very
Jinx, owe me a
Right.
Coke.
Isn't it always?
I have been slowly putting like a candlestick on the table, a knife, a bit of rope.
Some mustard.
A lead pipe.
Jeremiah,
are we done with him?
I've just got one more question. Jeremiah, are you aware of the previous owner of this premises, Carolyn or Caroline?
Nope. What's that got to do with Mr. Arbuthnot?
I'm interested in buried bodies.
No.
I thought you liked them fresh, Billy.
They'll become buried eventually. Except for the ones that survive the operation, obviously they don't end up buried most of the time.
Once or twice.
You just can't tell sometimes. They go really limp and just like, you just can't tell.
It's all floppy.
I think you can, Billy.
You're a fucking doctor, mate.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. It's
On
been
that
said.
note, thank you very much for your time, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ask Lucretia to step upstairs?
Well, are we going to go with him or are we going to let him go and speak to his
Yeah,
partner?
he already walks out the room. He's going.
I'll go after him.
walk with him.
I'll go after him because I'm not going to let him have a handover with Lucretia.
Here's my notes.
There you go. Right, you follow or you escort Jeremiah back to the dining room. What do you want to do?
Ask Lucretia to come.
Okay, you see Jeremiah walk over to his chair where you sit before. He pulls it out. He's looking at her the whole time. He sits, and
Whilst they're out of the room, I'll relock the box.
Nice.
When Jeremiah goes in, Dave, Billy is going to walk around so he can have sight of his face the whole time. In case he tries to whisper or mouth anything to Lucretia, he is watching him.
Lucretia stands up. She obviously looking a bit worried, and then she leaves the dining room and follows you upstairs.
Obviously, while Billy's doing that, can I get eyes on Avika and see what she's doing? She's still pacing.
She's sitting in the corner.
It was Bryn that was pacing.
Was it Bryn?
Yep, he's still pacing. So
She's still pacing.
She.
Sorry.
As the lads are taking Jeremiah back and doing the Lucretia handoff, can I go to the little person's room and just give it a scout out if they've been going there escorted but obviously left to their own devices? Can I go in and see if I can find anything that shouldn't be there?
Yep, you can go to the toilet.
And I'll do a little search in there.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a drive on that one because my search is crap. Mixed success.
No, the place is clean, so you don't find anything in particular.
Just wanted to check, just in case.
Yeah, no hidden messages in like you take off the top of the toilet, the water basin, have a rummage through. Nothing in there.
Check the potpourri for anything.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing under the sink.
It's a baggie.
Eat that for later.
That for later.
Finders, keepers, and all that.
Whilst I'm in the dining room, Dave, because I haven't been in this room before, I'm going to use one of my abilities that I have, which is occult researcher. So I can take a brain mark and I get to ask you for an important occult detail that I would recognise from my studies, because I have read books, despite what people think, but hasn't yet been revealed in the scene. If there are none, I don't take the brain mark, but I think really hard as I try and look for anything that might be occult-based in the dining room. Because Lucretia's gone now, so
yeah.
Anything else?
Okay. Do you need to roll it, or is it just it's just?
It's just an ability, and I take a brain mark if there is something. If there isn't, I don't take a brain mark.
I'm gonna say no because there's nothing described about that in the document.
Yeah. Cool. No worries. That's fine. I don't. My head starts to hurt, but then I don't quite. It doesn't hurt quite enough that like my eyes goes bloodshot. I'm all right. I'll keep going. Really hurts to think sometimes. I'll head back then with Duncan if we're escorting Lucretia back.
Okay. Yeah. Lucretia is now entered the library.
Nod to Josiah.
So, Lucretia, you're aware we've spoken to Jeremiah, so we understand his position on the board is the financial man, the money man.
He's our CFO, yes.
What position do you hold?
I don't hold an official title. I am a director. But Mr. Arbuthnot hired me for my occult skills.
Your occult skills, yes. There are a couple of things we want to talk to you about that, actually. Jeremiah said that the gift that he chose for Mr. Arbuthnot, the fair rune chest on the side table over there, that he asked you to arrange it, so to speak. It is a fine gift. Would you mind opening it for us, showing us and telling us about it?
Sure. That's the key.
They're on the table.
Yes. She walks over to it. Gingerly starts playing with the key. You've opened this already?
No.
No.
No, I can't do this. And she steps back, takes a step back, leaves the key on the table. I know that Jeremiah planned to do something drastic tonight.
Oh, girl, he is dropping you in it.
He said I had something to do with this.
He
Why
said you
Jeremiah?
arranged the whole gift, including its delivery. He merely selected the chest.
Well, that's not entirely true. No. We saw it in the shop window when we were out together a few weeks ago. I said it would be something that Mr. Arbuthnot would like. Maybe he could give it as a gift. I have bought Mr. Arbuthnot many things.
You were out together. Is that a common occurrence?
It has become one, yes. He has been an acquaintance. We have
And you've
shared...
been romantically involved for, was it 4 or 6 months?
Not romantically, no. There has been
Sexually, got it. Yeah, sure.
just... Yes. Intimate, but not romantic.
Listen, love, woman to woman. I flashed a bit of an ankle, and he did not look away.
It is defensible. It's really strapped an ankle.
It's more
But
than a
at the same
bit.
time, so did I.
I think my medical degree left my mind for a moment.
You're one for gifts from Mr. Arbuthnot. I understand you also gave him these spirit lenses.
The spirit lenses, yes. I found those for him, yes, a while ago now. I gave them to William because that was what he was asking for. He wanted to get more involved in the occult. I found it as an artifact.
So you wanted some ghost goggles?
Yes, that is what the spirit lenses do. They allow you to communicate with ghosts, to see ghosts.
Is that true, Mog? Were you able to communicate?
Not communicate, but definitely saw. Are you aware of any ghosts or beings in this building?
I can sense many echoes of spirits in the building.
Any that
Yes,
would do that? And I'll point at the body of William Bucknell.
No, I mean, that is quite shocking.
In your view, what do you think could have drained the colour?
I have no idea, but there are many things on the other side.
Do you happen to know anything about the history of this particular building, its previous ownership, or anything that it might have been through, you know, spiritual wise?
No, not at all. No.
Do you know why Mr. Frost not particularly wanted spirit lenses? Was there a ghost he was seeking? Did he have family in the past?
No family that I'm aware of. But we used to have conversations. He wanted to know more. I think he wanted to. Maybe he was just curious about the other side. The magic that flows through me is just. I'm a channel for it. I connect him.
What does your special abilities tell you about this room now?
That there is a poor soul here now, Mr. Arbuthnot.
So you can feel his presence here still?
Yes, I think I can.
I would like to read that, please, Dave. See whether or not that is bullshit.
Would
Cool. That is 2 6s, one of my gilded dice and one of my normal dice. That's a critical success.
Yeah. She has the right lingo. She's saying the right words. Is there any conviction behind them?
So, Lucretia,
Yes.
have you had any education on the human body?
I'll say she has.
Oh, that is probably quite true, actually.
I am familiar with the human body. Yes.
Do you know the magical things you can do while someone is still alive and aware of everything without actually killing them?
No. What are you?
Would you like to become familiar with it? And he gets his tools out and just lays them on the desk.
Are you? What? As she starts edging towards the door to the library. What are you suggesting?
Duncan, we've got a runner.
Sort of stand up.
Just tell us the truth, and I won't have to get busy.
What truth are you after? You're going to torture me for it.
Well, I mean, I will if I have
Such an
to.
ugly word, I think.
I've got some quick fire questions for you, Lucretia.
To kill him.
Do you know the combination for the safe?
No.
Did you put the battery in the box?
No.
Has he given you any other items other than glasses? Have you given him any other items other than glasses?
Some books, some bits and pieces over the years, maybe.
Did you kill him?
No.
Who do you think would take over? Who would you vote for if you had to?
To take over.
Yeah.
If I'm hedging my bets, I would say Jeremiah. But if he's saying that I arranged this box, then no. Maybe it's not him after all.
What advantage did you get out of the relationship with Jeremiah? He was very clear that he was trying to control 2 of the 5 votes, should it come down to this.
And if he becomes the successor or the new named director, then my chances of staying a director are quite high if I ally myself with him.
Are you not well liked by the others then?
I think because I am the newest, I probably don't have the standing as the others do.
So-
I may have had William's ear with the occult, but certainly not with the business.
Is that why you think you were hired? Did your arrival as one of the board members coincide with his increased interest in the occult?
Maybe, yes, I think so.
Would you say that Mr. Arbuthnot was frightened of dying?
Are you frightened of dying?
Death comes for us all.
Certainly does.
But
guess
yes,
we
I am.
just
I am
try
shit
to
scared
live
of
as-
dying, actually. Yeah, I'm quite scared of it,
We
actually.
just live as best we can.
Well, but do you think he would do anything to like not die and not have to hand over the company, the business?
Then I don't know. You want him to live forever?
No, I don't want him to, but maybe he wanted himself to live forever.
That has never come up in conversation.
My family name is McLeod, so I do try.
Who do you think did it?
My prime suspect would be Vita.
Why Vita?
Well, we're only taking their word for it that William was alone, right? So who says the footman didn't follow him in here? Finish him off.
Footman. Well, sorry. Legman now.
Maybe.
Do any of the other board members have a relationship like you and Jeremiah? Do you see them pairing off?
We are not romantically involved, but that is against the rules. Mr. Arbuthnot had 3 rules for us to follow.
And what were they?
I
Don't
will
kill
find them now.
Don't kill him.
Yeah. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Don't kill him,
me.
don't steal money, and don't sleep with each other.
You are
Don't
close.
play with the gnomes in the garden.
Don't let the weird doctor
Here you
man
go.
in the house.
So the rules are no romantic relationships between members, complete honesty and transparency with the director, and no use of scarlet whatsoever.
Do we actually know what Scarlet does? Like what? I know we know it's a drug, but do we know what type of
What it
drug
is
it
equivalent to.
is?
I don't think there's a proper description, but
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if it's something in the Candela book, maybe.
yeah, it is a drug.
Narcotic of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we got anything else we want to ask her?
I think so.
And who do you want to speak to next?
I was going to say, ask her. Who do you think we should speak to next?
You're asking me?
Well, you know the individuals. You've obviously not been here as long as everyone else, so you know who do you?
Well, maybe go and speak to Mickle. He's been sitting there quite calmly playing cards.
Mm. Thank
Okay,
you for
well,
that information.
my turn, I think. I'll escort you back and go and pick up the gentleman.
Okay. So you take her down to the dining room. She locks eyes with Jeremiah, and she does not sit with him. She just goes and
Ooh.
stands over with Officer Riggins.
Just to put the cat amongst the pigeons, I'm going to wink at Jeremiah and give him a flash of the ankle again.
You just see my hair.
Yeah, and I'll go and approach Mickle. I'm
Yep.
assuming that we've all passed on information about who's who.
Yep.
Is he still playing cards?
He's still playing solitaire. Looks like he's about to win.
Lonely game for a lonely man.
Just something to pass the time.
Well, if you wouldn't mind finishing up, sir, would you mind accompanying me to the library?
Certainly. He just leaves out fans out the rest of the cards. I
Does he
would've
leave
lost
them where
anyway.
they are?
No, just that. Fans them out.
I want to have a look over the cards. Do they seem like a regular deck, or is there like any kind of specific iconography on them?
Regular deck of cards.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I'll take him up with me to the library, and I will just chat idle nonsense to him the whole way up. Like, oh, I do love the sconces in this place. I've never seen sconces like this before in my life.
Yes. Okay.
And those banisters. Oh, cool, blimey.
Yes. Hazelwood, I believe.
Oh, a man who knows his wood. Like it.
Yes. I think.
Anyway, if this right this way, and I'll bring him into the library.
Again, as he steps in, he looks at Mr. Arbuthnot on the floor. Sharp intake of breath. Please, can you at least cover the poor man's body?
No.
Yes, congratulations are in order, Mr. Tackleton.
Mm-hmm.
You seem Tackett. You are aware that you were nominated as Mr. Arbuthnot's successor, of course. We've already had from Vita that he sold you that information many weeks ago.
Yes, that is correct, yes.
So you'll also be aware that you are the lowest on our list of suspects because you have the least to benefit from him dying without naming his successor first. We are aware that it goes to the vote.
Yes.
Which would put it square
we
in
need-
Jeremiah's lap if that's the case, wouldn't it?
If we can't get these documents, it will certainly go to a vote by morning. So, whatever we can do to get this safe open, I suggest we do it.
So why did you call the police?
How did you know I called the police?
Lieutenant Bazard told us.
When we heard the calls from Mr. Rudolph and Vita, I wanted the extra protection.
Fair enough.
While the periphery are here, nothing will happen. We have a few hours.
Are you
Protection from
concerned
who?
that somebody else knows that you were nominated successor?
I may need some protection later on if other members of the board, probably Jeremiah, if they don't agree with the choice, then having the periphery around will certainly help. If it helps, I will volunteer that I did have inside information.
Of course, that could all be some complicated ruse. I mean, that you were a success already. You could have planned to kill Mr. Arbuthnot, executed the deed through some means we have yet to discover.
There was
All safe
what I
in the
have to-
knowledge that when we eventually, the periphery that is, open the safe, it would annul the vote, prove you the successor, and therefore come to the same conclusion that we have, that you are lowest on the list of suspects. In the meantime, you remove one of your strongest competitors in Jeremiah. So there is, of course, that theory,
Yes,
which would put you top of the list of our suspects.
possibly. But that would mean it'd be a bit of a chess maneuver.
Are you saying you're not clever enough for that sort of scheme, Mr. Tackleton?
I'm clever enough, but my choice is, once I am named successor, means that I can modernize this business and I can get rid of this antiquated board. There will be no board. There will just be me as the CEO.
Yeah, good old dictatorship.
That's something that we've heard many times, that Mr. Brosnot's passion was the company. That it to be run smoothly and it to endure.
It will
Seems a
endure
little bit
as long as I am
strange,
here.
therefore, that he would choose you as his successor, somebody with such wildly different views on how to run the company.
I am young enough, I am willing enough, and I know the business. Modernization is the way to go.
Did he know that you'd do that?
I think he trusts me as the face of the company, yes.
So he'd know you'd get rid of the other fellas and lasses.
Quite possibly, yes.
Any of them you'd keep around, or would you kick them all to the curb?
I'd get rid of all of them. They're all useless to me.
Even Jeremiah is the money man, isn't he?
Jeremiah wants my position, or wants to be CEO. I'm not surprised if he was the murderer himself.
You mentioned being the face of the company. Had you been helping Mr. Arbuthnot recently? Attending meetings, meeting clients, that sort of thing?
That is my role, yes.
Oh,
I
could you
make
open
the
this
deals.
box for us? Here's the key, by the way.
And can't you manage it? You look big enough, capable to box.
Allergic to metal.
Hand-eye coordination's a bit funny. I might stick it in myself.
I've got my bloody surgery gloves on. I don't want to get them dirty with metal.
Certainly. So he takes the key, walks over to the box, puts the key in, turns it. You see his
We
hair
just
starting
tried
to smoke.
someone.
Duncan, I think you need help, mate.
Yeah, get him off the box.
Oh, yeah, knock him,
I think you need help,
down.
mate.
Colin, you got to make a strike.
Might need to send another circle to investigate us.
What was that?
2 6s.
2 6s.
Nice.
Take it flying into the bookcase. Yeah, he is on the floor, unconscious, and not looking very good.
I think there's a trick to opening the box.
Who the hell said this thing recharges?
Or Jeremiah and Lucretia just knew how to open it.
Lucretia
Yeah.
didn't open it.
Lucretia didn't open it, so she didn't
No.
know.
But Jeremiah did.
That sneaky
Yeah.
little fuck.
But
He
she knew what would happen, but she didn't know how to open it.
Well,
So-
or she didn't know what would happen. Well, yeah, she knew something was going to happen. Yeah.
yeah.
Join it. I suppose I should probably do my bit and check him out, shouldn't I? He's unconscious.
Yeah, go
So
and
we-
put a finger in him, see if he's all right.
Forget my doctor sometimes.
Doctor.
I'm a real doctor. A real boy. Yeah, I'll go over. Billy will go over and just like make sure that he has got a pulse and that he's not dead. And then I'm probably just gonna ask Duncan to slap him if he's still asleep. That works sometimes.
He is unconscious, but he is still breathing.
Maybe we leave him
Go
for
through
a
the pockets.
He's going to have some smelling salts or something, isn't he? He's going to have smelling salts in his pocket.
I mean,
bit. Yeah.
Well,
Me
Billy
or
might have smelling salts.
Have a rifle through his trousers and see if he's got anything in his pockets.
yeah, may as well, right? It's unconscious.
I'd like to pretend I've not done this before, but yeah, I'll start rifling through and I'll search through his pockets and anything that he's got on him, see if he's got anything interesting in there.
He has all the usual things. He has keys, a wallet, some cash, some coins, his watch. But that's
I'm
it.
kicking myself now because I was meant to say earlier when we had the chest open, take the battery out.
That's good. This is good because that's helped us
Yeah.
know that he didn't know the trick. Cool. He doesn't have any cash in him anymore, Dave, by the way.
Right. He's like, take that. Give him his wallet back.
Put it back in. We can wake him up if you want to.
Just leave him here for a bit.
I don't mind. I might be able to.
Probably waking him up so we can continue questioning him or
Yeah,
apologise to him. It's probably the way forwards.
Right. I'm going to say we got you're 3 people down. You got 2 more to do, and see if you can do it in the next 10 minutes.
Right, done. Let's go.
Slap.
Oh!
Wake up.
Michael wakes up.
We
Yeah.
drag him back. We drag him back to the dining room, and
Feet
on the
first,
way
and
in, on the
his
way
head.
in, and
Yeah.
as we lay him over the dining table, I'll look towards Brian and Ivika and go. He chose the bad cop route. Bryn or Ivika?
Avika.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, keep Bryn sweating because Bryn is the one that's pacing.
I'll
Okay,
give
so
the,
we'll
as we
take
go
the
out, I'll
Avika
give the
from
thumbs
Lobby.
up to Jeremiah as well.
While they're gone, Dave, is Arbuff not got a ring on his finger, on one of his fingers?
Probably. Yeah.
Has it got any symbols or anything of any note on it?
No.
Okay, cool. No worries. I just wanted to double check that as a little thread.
Is this a room that can benefit from your occult skill thing you used before?
Oh yeah, I can absolutely use that ability as many times as I want to. Yeah, while they're gone, I'll use my occult researcher ability. I'll take a brain mark if there's any important occult detail that I recognise from my studies, but it's not yet been revealed in the scene.
I'm going to say
Pentagram
no.
on the ceiling.
Yeah. I'm going to say no.
No worries, that's good. I don't get a brain mark. I'm happy about that. Again, I think you will see now as he thinks, and the vein in his forehead throbs a little bit. He goes, "Oh, no, sorry, it's fine.
That's all right, mate. It's all right. Come back. Back down.
Just push that in. It's fine."
Also, whilst they're downstairs, I've got the ability to do a ritual, which means that I can do remote viewing, and I'd like to see. I can see from 1 moment. It says, so I suppose it's up to you to see how long 1 moment is. But see what like Rudolph and Vita are doing, if possible.
Right, so say that again.
So I've got an option to do remote viewing for a moment, and I want to see what Vita and Rudolph are up to. This is a moment.
So
I'm
you're
assuming
going to go back to the kitchen.
no, it's a remote viewing. So I'm assuming like mentally I can
He's
just
doing a spirit walk.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Astral projection. I
yeah.
think.
Vita is in his room, where the boys left him, and Rudolph is having a cup of tea in the kitchen.
Cool. I'll take 1 brain mark for that. At least he's still where we left him.
Yeah.
And there he will stay. Right, did she say anything as we're walking through?
Nope. Are you going to ask her anything as you're walking through?
Sort of say to her, now, before we get in the library, is there anything you wish to tell me and Josiah before we start in, shall we say?
No, you can ask your questions. Let's get this over with.
Wonderful attitude to have.
All right, so when we get back to the library, what's her reaction when she sees a Brothnell?
She looks at him, sits him on the floor, sees him laying on the floor. Have you not given him any decency? Can you not cover him? He is now... If he is at peace, let him be at peace.
I don't know that he's at peace. He doesn't look particularly peaceful.
Look at that expression.
No, I don't want to see his expression.
Can I read that? If that is a guilt, like, is there a thing of guilt, or is it just a compassionate of like, I actually care about this dead person?
Okay.
To read the body language. Gilded dice 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there is a little bit of guilt.
Did you kill him?
Oh, Morg, it's your turn. You're up.
Take my line or what?
Yeah, Duncan rolls a 6. Yes, it was. Morg's like, damn it.
One time I didn't do it. Evika, what are you feeling guilty about, Evika?
I don't know. I think it's
You killed him for him firing you, or
you knew about that.
I thought everyone did. It's safe to say we know a lot more than you would appear.
I suppose what we would like to know is why he fired you.
Or wanted to.
I don't know.
Which one of the 3 rules did you break, I wonder?
I haven't broken any of the rules. I don't touch Scarlet. I'm not romantically involved with anyone. Maybe you should talk to Jeremiah and Lucretia.
Oh, no. This is not romantic. He pays
There's-
up front every month.
There's 3 rules, everyone. There's 3 rules.
Mm-hmm.
You only mentioned 2 of them. I can count.
And to be honest,
And
Mr. Arbuthnot.
Transparent, and to be transparent.
which you are not currently being. With us, obviously, not with the dead.
And you are not Mr. Arbuthnot.
Yeah, but
She's got
Leopard
points.
don't change its spots. Yeah, I know. I'm not him. I'm not an idiot. But a leopard
Kind of
don't
lucky
change
you're
its
not, and I'll
spots.
point at him.
Jeremiah is not the only one to have caused problems. He breaks the rules. But I did see that Jeremiah and Mr. Arbuthnot, they were in a heated argument about the succession plan. So maybe you should continue to ask him.
How do you feel about kissing rings?
What has that got to do with it?
Well,
Bit of a strange
Mr.
action for somebody who knew that they'd been fired to do
I
this
haven't
display of fealty.
been fired.
But you knew you were going to be.
I still
unless, of course, you knew
haven't
you wouldn't be
been
because you
fired.
knew he'd be dead.
And I wanted to show my loyalty. So I kissed the ring.
What is your role on the board? Jeremiah's the money man. Lucretia's the occult advisor. Nickel, the face. Bryn, I guess, is the assassin should anyone need to be taken care of. So what's your role?
My role is to get things done.
You're the fixer.
In certain circles, yes.
Or an enforcer?
Fixer is more of an appropriate term.
So, would you describe yourself as somebody who's having a lot of contacts?
I have a lot of contacts, yes.
Have you been working on any side ventures that we should know about?
Not side ventures, no. But I keep my ear to the ground. I know that everyone here was doing bits and pieces. For example, Mikkel. I know he was buying information on the side.
As were you.
Offered to you.
I'm assuming you have spoken to Vita, and yes, I bought some information from the footman.
Do you know what information Mikkel bought from the footman?
No.
Once Vita gave you that
Is she
information,
lying? Sorry, is she lying? Can I do a read?
You got to make a roll.
I'll give you a drive, Steve.
Partial success.
She's partially lying. It's not the whole truth, but something there.
What was Mog saying?
When Vita gave you the information that Mr. Buffnut was considering letting you go, did you go and speak to Mr. Buffnut straight away? How did it make you feel? Did you kill him?
Again, no, I did not kill him. If you
How
want
did it
to
make
get
you
into
feel when-
gossip, you may pick up the other gossip that Bryn and Arbuthnot were romantically involved, which means he's breaking his own rules.
Oh,
I mean, it's the quite common, one rule for them and another rule for yourself, right?
Don't do as I do, do as I say.
Exactly. Did you go and speak to him when you got given that information from Vita?
Not directly, no. I spoke to him before dinner.
Did he get heated?
No. We had a compelling discussion. And again, to prove my loyalty to him. Again.
What were you being asked
I
to do
kissed-
to prove your loyalty?
Nothing. But I wanted to prove my loyalty. He asked nothing of me. I just wanted to prove it to him. So yes, I kneeled before him and kissed his ring.
can you think of any circumstance where it might be maybe beneficial as someone loyal to have their contract terminated for maybe greater purposes?
Greater purposes.
I know, a little, maybe a job off the books, shall we say?
No idea.
Read, please.
Drive.
Thank you. Needed that. Mixed success.
Oh, what are you trying to find out?
I
What
am
do you
trying to
think?
find out if she knew that she was being terminated so that she would either be protected from what was about to kind of go down, or she was then free to do something else for Mr. Abubnot that wouldn't be caught up with the board.
She was okay with being fired because she knew it was part of a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say, as far as she's concerned, she was being let go.
Okay.
Not for any other means.
Cool.
And does she seem upset by the fact she's being let go?
I'll say there's a certain amount of resentment there, yeah.
Right.
But she hasn't been fired.
You can see from our point of view that your termination not being given the light of day because Mr. Arbuthnot is now dead paints you in a unfortunate light. You, along with Jeremiah, would say are our main suspects. Why didn't you do it? And who, in your opinion, did?
I don't think I have reason to kill Mr. Arbuthnot. And my personal opinion would be Mickle. He's lazy, he's impatient, and he always has been.
Why would he have reason to kill him, though?
Well, what if he had information that told him something that he didn't like? What would he do then?
Well, his information was pretty good for him.
Yeah, yours, however, not so good.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Mickle has been named successor?
Yes, it would. I was expecting Jeremiah.
Why? He's a bit of a tit, isn't he?
He is, but he's probably known Mr. Arbuthnot the longest.
I would just like to read the surprise, please, Dave, as I am watching intently. I will not take my gilded dice, which was a 5, and I'll take my 6 on my normal dice, which was a success.
Yes, she is surprised.
Yeah, that bit's real.
Now, are there any more questions, or can I go and sit back downstairs?
What do you know about the previous owner of this house?
Nothing.
You're not going to drop that, are you, mate?
I'm like a doctor with a bow.
You know where
Do you know
it
the
goes.
combination? Do you know the combination for the safe, or anyone that would know how to get into the safe?
I would expect possibly Rudolph. He is the butler.
Right, I've got one last roll of dice to try and figure out what she was involved with. Jeremiah said that there were financial irregularities with Mr. Arbuthnot's accounts. Large amounts were being siphoned off to some unnamed source. Jeremiah believes Mr. Arbuthnot may have been blackmailed. You, in your role as fixer, may be the sort of person that could deal with that. So, I pose this question to you. Were you okay with being terminated because Mr. Arbuthnot had given you the task of dealing with this blackmailer so you didn't have to pay him anymore?
No. I don't know of any blackmailer, and I don't know why I was to be terminated. And I say again, I have not been terminated from my position.
Does somebody who's better at reading want to read that?
Yeah, as I say, I've only got one read.
I'll give it a go.
Are you good at reading?
I've
No,
got
I'm
2
crap
points
at
in it.
reading.
I've got 2 points in it already. So
Okay,
Whoever-
cool. No worries.
Whoever takes it can have a drive.
I'll also give you a drive.
uh, 2 successes, so it's 2 6s.
Ooh.
Critical success, nice.
Mm.
Again, what are you trying to find out?
So I'm trying to find out if she knew anything about blackmail, if she knew anything about the accounts being doctored,
No.
and whether the whole termination thing is a ruse or she really is upset about it.
Yes, the upset is real. There is resentment, anger. Yeah.
Right. So there's definitely motive there. A motive. Okay, all right. So 5 minutes for Bryn.
Let's go.
Really
Quickly,
quick.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Really.
Yeah.
Bryn.
Is it worth us trying to go and see if Jeremiah can open that box again?
Do you want me to go down and get him?
Do you just want to electrocute him? Because we could just took him
I
up.
want
To
to know. 'Cause I want to know. I want to know if the battery's recharged or if he actually had a way of opening it without being shocked.
Can I try and remember, Dave, if Jeremiah twisted it a different way to
Mickle. No,
Okay.
not Mickle. Mickle, yeah, Mickle.
yeah,
Or me.
Mickle, yeah. Yeah, if he twisted it a different way or did anything different to the others.
You can roll. Go for it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. I'm going to spend a try for you. 6 on the gilded dice. Success.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes. So you kind of flip back to. Hold on. If I had the key, I turn it that way to like open or unlock or whatever, and you kind of play back the Jeremiah moves in your head, and he was so quick with it and smooth that the key went in and turned it, and he opened it up. He turned it in the opposite direction.
Cool, so I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm going to shut the box. I'm going to take the key and open it the same way Jeremiah did. Hopefully without getting electrocuted. It's just a trick. It's just a trick. It's fine.
Cheeky little fuck.
So you open it up. Yeah, it opens up.
Oh, thank God. I thought we'd get fucking electrocuted again.
Do you know, as he opens it up, I'm going to take out my flash powder and a smoke bomb and just throw one at his feet.
Yeah, go.
God, Polly. Oh, I think I've just shit myself.
You get 2 brain bleeds. Right. Okay. We got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Bryn, library.
Bryn's up. Yep. Swap.
Mog, ask your question quickly. Mog, go. Go, Mog.
Did
Go.
you kill
You
him?
Right, so you are the most important one tonight. We have been wanting to talk to, hence why we saved you for last.
Why are you so nervous?
I'm not nervous. I'm angry.
Why
Fucking angry.
angry? Who
Yeah.
are you angry with?
Whoever's did this.
Who was that?
Well, I don't know who it was.
So
But when I
what was
find
her,
out who
what
it
was
was,
her
they won't be
reaction
living
when
for
she
very
walked
much
in the
longer.
room? What was her reaction when she walked in the room? Did she look angry?
She's been angry for a while.
How did she react
know
to the body?
She sees the body. There is no sharp intake of breath, but again, there's a wave of anger.
So no shock, just anger.
So
gotta
once
think
you
though,
find
this
out who did this, I will make sure that they pay in the most violent way possible.
Is that why Mr. Brothnott kept you around? In case he needed any violence visited
Other-
on someone?
Other than that, he loved you.
William didn't love me. And you talk about rumours. Stick to the
Well-
facts.
Facts only become facts once you confirm them, so.
Yeah, it's not confirmed.
So, what was the facts of your relationship with Mr. Abovnot?
He was a friend. He was a mentor.
Friend.
Not
Or like
friend,
Billy's a
air
doctor?
quotes.
Right. So we're not be slandered like this.
Body, but chat.
I've got a degree.
Add a degree, Billy. Add.
Still, don't lose it just because you lose your medical license. That's not how it works. I checked.
So let's
I'm his
check off.
cousin. There's nothing romantic
Okay,
involvement.
then that explains why you're employed here. Then, because something was bothering me. You're an ex-assassin, we're told. Is that true?
Oh, them crickets are getting
That's
loud.
that's a bit. That label's a bit strong.
What?
I'm ex-military.
Okay. But let's say you're
A
not
gentle
unfamiliar with
alleviator of
dead
life.
bodies. You're not you're a mercenary then. How about that? You're a mercenary. So you'd get things done for money. Now, Mr.
Yes.
Bruthnot seems the sort of person that would not require that particular skill set in his organisation. He seems to be a peaceful man.
Just out of interest, would I know her or know of her or have heard of her from my military days?
No.
Good job.
So I was going to ask how you and Mr. Brothnot become associated, but you've done that. You were his cousin.
We're cousins, yes.
So
Kissing
did he
cousin?
confide in you at all?
No.
Not about the running of a business.
No. There's been rumours.
Can I read that thing you said the telemetry? Partial success 5 on the non-gilded.
You believe Bryn is telling the truth, yeah?
Is accurate.
Is it common knowledge that you're cousins?
Not in the business, no.
You said there's been rumours. What rumours have you heard?
There are various rumours. Rumours that Ivica, she's supposedly associated with mysterious cult-like organisations situated here in New Fair. I tried to warn Arbuthnot against it, but he ended up making Ivica a director anyway.
So you was a director before Avika?
Yes.
How long have you been on the board?
A few years.
So was you a board member before Mikkel and Avika and Lucretia came on board?
Yes, I think so. I think that works out.
Do you know which cult Avika is supposed to have been associated with?
I think they're called the Martyrs.
Have any of us heard of the Martyrs? Is it a focus roll? A focus to remember.
Go for it.
I might just try.
Partial success.
Is this one we're all doing, or?
I say, Josiah, you kind of recognise it. It's part of something longer. So the
Right.
Martyrs of something.
Okay.
You can't remember.
Okay. Right.
I got
On the tip of your tongue.
4.
Got a 6.
Yeah, and
Okay, so
on one of my fancy dice,
Gilded dice.
gilded dice.
Ooh, a
So-
fancy dice.
Ooh.
as Josiah says it, you finished the line. So you said the Martyrs, and something in the back of your mind goes the Martyrs of the Eclipse.
With the eclipse,
Yeah.
As you were cousins and related, Mr. Arbuthnot must have confided in you quite a lot, I'm assuming. Did he give you the information of how to get into his safe?
No, but I imagine that he may have put something around to remind himself.
see, I knew there was a fucking clue here somewhere.
What do you think they could have placed here? Is there anything that you can see that?
Maybe it's not in the library.
Hmm.
Maybe it's in his bedroom. Why would you have a safe and put the code in the same room?
You'd stick the
Right.
post-it note on the wall somewhere else.
It's like putting a key under your doormat.
Yeah. Did he get you to kill many people?
I
I
fix
know that-
problems.
I know that, above the surface it was all fine and dandy and everyone was holding hands, but I'm sure there was the odd person here and there.
As I said, I fixed problems.
Were you going to be fixing Miss Fan? Is it Erica? Can't read my own handwriting.
Evika.
If she's the one who has done this murder, then I certainly
Well,
will be.
We got told
She's
that
become
she's
a bit
being let go.
reclusive of late.
So we've heard 2 facts now, I guess, rather than rumours. The first is about Evika. Vita sold her information that she was to be terminated from the board. When we questioned her, she said she hadn't done anything wrong and didn't know why she'd been terminated. I guess if she was associated with some cult of some kind, this Masters of the Eclipse, that would have broken one of Mr. Arbuthnot's rule about being open, honest and transparent with the director of any outside interests. Would that have been something that Mr. Arbuthnot would have likely have acted upon?
Are you talking to them or are you talking to me?
Talking to you, Bryn, for your opinion, because none of us knew Mr. Arbuthnot. Was he a stickler for his rules?
Yes, there were rules. However, rules tend to be broken, and she opens up her coat, and inside she has a small bottle of red-looking liquid.
Is that scarlet?
It is, yes. You could
One of
say
his
I
other
have
rules.
an addiction to it.
Did he know?
No, I kept this from him.
If he had have known, would he have fired you from the board as well, even though you're his cousin?
Probably. I broke the rules.
Did anyone else know that you're on the Scarlet?
No, I don't believe so.
Was he aware of Jeremiah and Lucretia's relationship?
Probably. I think we've all seen it.
And do you think that would have swayed his decision to name his successor as Mikkel rather than Jeremiah?
Maybe.
Would there have been anyone else outside of the board he might have promoted above them?
I don't believe so. It was all about the business. And at this point, from downstairs, you hear a woman scream.
Did it sound like Evika or Lucretia or Lieutenant Bazard or Officer Perg?
Go run downstairs and find out.
Yeah, I'll go running.
We
I'll
all
do
go
that.
running ourselves. Make sure.
Yeah.
Make sure she comes with. Yeah.
I'm on Bryn.
Okay, so
We're
as
going
you rush out,
in.
rush out the library, you all run downstairs, And out in the parlor, you see a body lying on the ground.
A Vika,
Lucretia.
innit?
Lucretia is kneeling over the body. And as you're running down the stairs, you can see this person is once again pure white and laying there with a look of frozen horror on their face is the footman Vita.
Oh no!
Should have stayed in this fucking room.
Yeah. I even checked on him and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Just out of interest,
Yep.
who went and got Bryn from the dining room?
Me and you.
It was me and you, was. Where was Billy when we was in the dining room? He's
It's one of you.
he's drinking blood.
Since
Vita.
Billy did.
I was in the library.
Billy Chan, I was in the
I've
library.
got witnesses.
Can't have a go at me.
Billy, did you kill him?
You got me. Oh, actually, who are you talking about? You need to be more specific.
Yeah,
than
be
that.
specific.
Okay, so I guess the prediction about loose end has come true.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Cool. Right, we are going to leave it there because we played over our time. So we are. Let's hit that music off. Let's get rid of that bit. Boom, boom, boom. So we're not going to do player feedback because we've already done player feedback. So this is just for us because of the play testing will go up on YouTube the closer we get to launch date. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. It made it this far. If this video is even allowed to be released, fantastic. Players, when we come back for our third, potentially final episode on this one, you're going to have to start putting all your clues together. So we're entering the Cluedo phase. Is it Cluedo? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cluedo.
It is Cluedo. So who did it and when? So I'm going to start asking you some questions to put these things together when we get to that point.
Well, I
But
think
you
at
did,
the moment,
you did well. That was a lot of conversations to get through. So you covered it all, and you got into the habit of doing it systematically. It's like, did you do it? Yeah.
I liked how you dropped it in, by the way, Joe. Just, did you kill him? Oh, that's good.
Cool.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm not sure there's a clear leader at the moment. There's probably
It's probably a
Well,
couple of.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing: based on all the information that you've got to kind of now put the strings and where people are attached, do you have anyone that you think did murder number one, and now you have murder number two?
Okay,
Who
go.
well. I mean, clearly, murder number two is as Richard and Ross said at the beginning, and it's the loose end.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's like it just seems too obvious to not be true, which
And
means that it's
Mikko.
going to either be Mikkel or Avika, doesn't it? Because they've both got.
Or Jeremiah with the chest.
But did Jeremiah have any relationship with Vita carried it upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd forgotten that point. So yes, so there's still three runners and based on that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can also rule out Bryn. I believe.
I think it was Rudolph. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think it was Rudolph.
But
The butler did it.
going for
Yeah.
the cliche, that it's the butler. The butler did it.
Yeah. Billy's played Cluedo.
So we all we're on next week, same time, is it?
Yep. Let's wrap this bit up, and then we'll come back in a sec. Right. So everyone, thanks
So we
for
got to get
watching.
the safe open. We got to get the
Yeah,
safe
got
open.
to
And you got
Safe
to get so that's definitely has to happen next episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you might
In
have to
the
go
bedroom.
hunting for that. Yeah.
I think that probably needs to be our next focus. Is just
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you get the safe open,
But
and then you'll get whoever's in there, and then you can wrap up the whole thing.
we have
Then you
also
go,
got,
the butler did it.
we've got to keep an eye on Jeremiah as well, because obviously he was they sent this thing to try and do him in,
Yeah. Well,
and he
Yeah.
lied because obviously he knew about it. He said that it was he didn't organise any of it.
It's also the thing I like about it is, and it's a bit like again Knives Out. you've got none of these people are any good.
Yeah,
You're just
they've all
like
done
you're all
something.
guilty of something.
Yeah.
But which one of you really did this
Yeah.
bit?
Mhm.
Who fucking stabbed him?
That was
Who
me.
stabbed him? Who shot him? Who drowned him? Who poisoned him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then who pushed him down the stairs?
And then it was the dog that bit him at the end that killed him.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I'm just gonna. Right, we'll end it and we'll be back. See you later. Bye.